दोस्तों, ये हम अपने भाई के साथ हमें लेकर आए हुए यहाँ पे। ये एक वाइट हाउस का रेप्लिका है, बिल्कुल टोटल, क्योंकि वाइट हाउस तो बंद हो गया, कोई नहीं अब घूम सकता। यहाँ पे एक ये 5-10 मिनट की वीडियो है शायद थोड़ी सी, और उसके बाद जो है ना ये एक विज़िट है इसका, इन्होंने पीछे से बनाया। तो ये पहले हम इसकी वीडियो देखते हैं और उसके बाद जो है ना फिर हम आगे चलेंगे। ये सारे तमाम मेरे ख्याल से तमाम पिछले प्रेसिडेंट्स वगैरह को उन्होंने इसमें कवर किया हुआ। द फ्यूचर ऑफ द वाइट हाउस। ये कहते हैं कि ये इसका वाइट हाउस का रेप्लिका है, अभी इन्होंने बनाया है और इसको अभी लोगों को, बहुत सारे लोगों को पता भी नहीं है। और ये बिल्कुल सेम जो है वो यही है, इसी तरह का बना हुआ है वाइट हाउस। उसकी इंट्रेंस यही है, सीढ़ियों की सामने प्रेसिडेंट आता जाता है। दैट्स गुड। अभी जब वीडियो शुरू होती है तो मैं थोड़ी सी देर के लिए वीडियो बनाता हूँ, फिर आप लोगों को आगे का चक्कर लगाएंगे वाइट हाउस का।
As you visit these galleries, you will be transported across time and space to feel the gravity of the Oval Office, the beauty and the importance of social diplomacy, and you will hear from real people who have contributed to the White House history. Enjoy your exploration and learning that this rich history of your house, the People's House, inspire you.
कितने मिनट की है वीडियो है?
7 मिनट की पूरी बनाई है।
The White House, a home, an office, an icon of American democracy. Its enduring history belongs to the whole nation. The Residence Act of 1790 placed the nation's permanent capital along the Potomac River. President George Washington and city planner Pierre Charles L'Enfant selected the presidential residence site, which would later become 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. A national contest was announced to design the new executive mansion. James Corbin won the contest with a neoclassical architectural style. Over the next 8 years, hundreds of enslaved laborers along the wayjourney process shouldered the gloomy road they helped build their new home. In November 1800, John Adams became the first president to occupy the White House. 8 years later, Thomas Jefferson directed the first major alteration, adding a column-line terrace to the east and west sides. August 24th, 1814. Invading British soldiers marched into Washington, D.C. and set fire to the White House. The interior of the nation's grandest mansion was reduced to smoldering ruin. Only its exterior walls remained intact. The White House was quickly rebuilt, and the south and north porticos were soon added, giving the house the familiar shape we recognize today. In 1901, Theodore Roosevelt moved into the White House with his wife Edith and their 6 children. This large family needed more living space on the second floor, so an extensive renovation was undertaken, enlarging rooms and creating a separate building for staff, known today as the West Wing. William Howard Taft created the first Oval Office. Franklin Delano Roosevelt later doubled the size of the West Wing to accommodate more workers in an expanding building. Adding the Trinity in 1948. Engineers confirmed that the building was on the brink of collapse.
Hay más cosas.
From 1949 to 1952, construction teams gutted the house and rebuilt the interior. Over the years, White House staff have made lasting impacts, championed by the nation's first rulers. Each presidency adds their own touch in the decor and furnishings. In 1961, First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy founded the White House Historical Association to help collect and exhibit the very best artifacts of American history and tradition. Today, the association works with the White House to protect, preserve, and provide public access to the rich history of America's executive mansion. We now cordially invite you to enter the People's House, a White House experience. Prepare to be immersed in the rooms, the objects, and the people that molded the White House into what it is today. Welcome to not just a house, but your house, the People's House. Welcome home.
With the stroke of a pen, President James Madison signed the United States' first declaration of war. Facing aggression from Great Britain, the president left the White House to coordinate the war effort. British troops took advantage, invading Washington, D.C. Those inside the White House had just enough time to flee before troops reached the mansion and burned it to the ground. The White House was rebuilt, but continued to face conflicts. During the Civil War, the White House became the nation's command center, even housing Union soldiers. Three decades later, during the Spanish-American War, the White House hosted telegraphic offices to communicate to troops an ocean away.
Oh, so this is the smooth zoom slider added. यहाँ पे ये जो आइटम है आप इसे स्लाइड कर सकते हैं जूम करने के लिए.
During World War II, rooms transformed as the White House evolved to meet the ever-changing needs of a nation at war.
An unlimited national emergency exists and requires the strengthening of our defense.
I know the soldier in the field, his courage, his stamina, and his faith in his comrades.
The White House is a major site of communication during times of conflict.
Tonight I want to speak to you of peace in Vietnam and Southeast Asia.
The defense of freedom is everybody's business.
No nation can stand against the world united.
Force proof necessary to dissolve this process.
A great people have been moved to defend a great nation.
Tonight, I can report to the American people the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
But it has also served as the site of peace. As the White House and the presidency continue to evolve, Its legacy shapes the course of history and the future of the nation.
उधर जाइएगा ना पिक्चर लेता हूँ शॉप में
हाँ उसको टच करने से
ये
देखिए समझ जो कर रहा है उसको टच करने से
कारपेट पे भी है कारपेट पे भी है नहीं है नहीं बेसिकली ये पूरा का पूरा छोटा like oh yeah sorry my bad
ये एक इस ओवल ऑफिस के अंदर ये एक इसका मतलब है कि ये वॉल क्लॉक भी रखा हुआ है जिसकी रेप्लिका उन्होंने यहाँ पे रखी दिस इज ओवल ऑफिस सपोर्टेड बाय द टचियाना ब्रांडेड कंपनी और अब ये आ गए हैं चाचा ट्रम्प
आगे मुझे आप लोग ही मैं पीछे
वो तो ये तो भाई ज़बरदस्त किस्म का रेप्लिका बनाया है भाई ज़बरदस्त किस्म का और बहुत जॉर्ज बुश
फैसला करना है कि क्या होगा जंग में क्या होगा और हमारे फैसले सही फैसला होगा या जो उस वक्त फैसला किया गया था वो सही होगा या नहीं हाँ तो ये जॉन एफ कैनेडी का जो कैबिनेट था वहाँ जो मीटिंग वो आप देख रही हैं
ये जॉन एफ कैनेडी की दौर में जो कैबिनेट थी उनकी मीटिंग चल रही है और ये मीटिंग बहुत मतलब है कि बड़ी ज़बरदस्त टेक्नोलॉजी बनाई और ये माय गॉड फुल एआई का इस्तेमाल है आप देखें
security advisors to manage this crisis. Let's look in on the first of those meetings, adapted from recordings and transcripts.
As you are all aware, the latest reports and photographs have confirmed that missile sites are being built in Cuba with the help of the Soviets. I brought this group together to discuss the situation and hear your recommendations.
We cannot sit still. We need to destroy these weapons before they're operational. We should conduct a surprise airstrike against the missile sites. And if we drop
मीटिंग के अंदर जो प्रेजेंटेशंस है
the world will not be
रॉबर्ट एफ कैनेडी अटॉर्नी जनरल और पूरी कैबिनेट बैठी हुई है और वो अपने अपने जो मीटिंग में डिस्कशन चल रही है क्यूबा के हवाले से और उसके हवाले से उस दौर में ये वो उसकी ज़बरदस्त प्रेजेंटेशन बना टोटल एआई है यार मतलब कोई ज़बरदस्त फुल यूज़ ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी
If we involve our allies early,
ये डॉग डिलन सेक्रेटरी ऑफ ट्रेजरी
we can't be certain that all of our allies will share the same feelings as us. We must be very careful and not force the Soviets to act first.
Our long-term tensions with the Soviet Union has
वाइस
raised our
प्रेसिडेंट
nation's blood pressure.
लिंडन बी जॉनसन
Our citizens are scared. We must act cautiously. And as for military commanders, what they think. Thank you. Your input is invaluable. Now I want to hear from the rest of
एज द
you.
प्रेसिडेंट
Give your input on the notebook in front of you to help determine
Another
course of
question
action.
asking us. We must mobilize. We can carry out an airstrike within a matter of days. We must apply pressure.
A strong blockade with our allies will isolate Cuba from the Soviets.
We must not involve our allies too soon. We cannot afford to lose the element of surprise.
A strategic airstrike against just the missile bases alone is our best option.
We must act cautiously. Let's ask our military commanders to weigh in.
We must avoid military action at all costs.
We cannot provoke the Soviet Union.
In October 1962, President Kennedy led the United States through the Cuban Missile Crisis. For 13 tense days, the world teetered on the brink of nuclear war, while the President and his advisors weighed a range of potential solutions. Let's see how your group ranked their proposals. In the end, President Kennedy resolved the crisis through
Preparations for a state dinner begin months in advance, with the head chef suggesting the dinner and dessert menu to the president and first lady.
It's not easy. You've been here, you've been watching. Just put the rabbit in the hat. The guests watch the rabbit come out, and they won't know how he got there in the first place.
What a delicious meal. Invited to perform at the White House.
I heard some performers were specifically requested by the guest of honor. Don't you know that Will Reed was requested by Czech President Václav Havel? Because his band Velvet Underground was a big influence in the Czech Revolution. And it was a treat for President Havel.
Requested to perform at the 1992 State Dinner for then South African President. She had a great affection for him.
No question that we come to states of the state dinner.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Bobby, 50 hours of flight time. The president's 7,000-mile trip concluded in Casablanca.
ये वाइट हाउस के अंदर जो फर्नीचर है जो चीज़ें हैं जहाँ पे कोई प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस वगैरह होती है उसके प्रेसिडेंट और वो लोग जो खड़े होते हैं उसका ये एक रेप्लिका बनाया हुआ है वो जो चीज़ें मुख्तलिफ वाइट हाउस के अंदर उसका ये प्रेसिडेंट का मूव हो रहा है कोई गाड़ी है नीचे
Air, waterway. Road, rail. The president's access to reliable transportation is essential. Modes of transportation have varied over the course of time as technology and the president's needs have changed. At 10 p.m. on January 9th, 1943, President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his entourage quietly left the White House, beginning their secret journey to Morocco to meet with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill. The convoy embarked on a 24-hour train ride to Miami, where a plane awaited. Shortly after 6 a.m. on January 11th, 1943, President Roosevelt became the first sitting president to take flight, riding in a Boeing 314 Clipper, logging over 50 hours of flight time. The president's 7,000-mile trip concluded in Casablanca.
Confirmed. Timberwolf and Tranquility are secure.
One of the many responsibilities of the United States Secret Service is to provide protection for the president and their family. Each protectee is given a code name that represents their personality or resonates with them. Can you guess who these code names belong to?
Scorecard and Springtime are on the move. Prepare for Eagle, Evergreen, and Energy. We have eyes on Rawhide and Rainbow. Timberwolf and Tranquility are secure.
One of the many responsibilities of the United States is to provide protection for the president and their family. Each protectee that represents their personality or resonates with them. Can you guess who these code names belong to?
Scorecard and Springtime